Hi, I'm Coach Joe Beer. I'm a regular contributor to 220 Triathlon magazine. This month we're doing benchmarks. The swim benchmark test is an increasing pace to see how well your swim stroke stands up in technical robustness. Start off by warming up. Do some poolside warming up. This is an important habit to get into. And then as the main set after you've warmed up in the water is something along the lines of 10 100s. These are done starting at a very relaxed pace and building up such that every 100 is subsequently 2 to 3 seconds faster. As you increase pace, eventually you will know when your stroke starts to break down. At that point, that's your best measure of current technical robustness. That will give you a certain pace. It will also give you a certain sensation as to at what point your stroke breaks down. The benefit of this benchmark is that you find the point at which your stroke starts to break down. It's not about choreography, it's about when the stroke under pressure is starting to become inefficient. Your breathing will get worse and your stroke will get ragged. When you know that pace, and when that pace starts to increase, you know that all aspects of your swimming are going in the right direction. The additional benchmark to consider is a wetsuit drafting speed endurance test. Yourself and a similar swimmer want to try and set up something like a 400-meter time trial where you draft them and you see what pace they can pull you through a 400. Ideally, they are slightly faster than you, so that in your wetsuit you get an idea of how fast you can swim on somebody's feet, but be sure at turns you understand which way somebody is going to tumble or push off and that you don't smash into one another. The bike benchmark is very simple. Warm up for 10 minutes or thereabouts on a normal training route. Then time yourself while staying in zone 1 between 2 points. This could be as short as 3 to 5 miles, or it could be for over an hour. What you're looking for is to stay in zone 1 and see how your average pace changes over time. Whilst equipment will make a difference, your fitness will make a big difference from the start of winter to the end of winter. You're looking for average speed to go up with no additional effort. As it's a regular route you do, you will have varying points with which to look back over winter and see your pace gradually increasing. It's not increasing because you're pushing, it's increasing because you're getting fitter. The benefit of this benchmark is it measures your fitness, but it also allows you to make tweaks to your equipment and see how you can actually improve your speed by varying your tyres, your wheels, your clothing, or your position within the segment that you are actually measuring. An alternative to this, which helps people that sometimes have an issue with getting to race weight, is actually to measure yourself on a climb. Climbing brings in your weight and brings in your ability to actually work against gravity. If you look at a set gear and a very similar cadence, either measure the heart rate that you get to by the time you get to the top or the speed, but use a measure of a hill to see how well you're climbing. If you get lighter, if you get fitter, you will notice that the time, despite the same effort, will actually drop. You're becoming better at going up hills, and yet you're not trying hard. The run benchmark uses a very regular route, warm up to around 10 minutes of easy running, and then close your mouth and only breathe through your nose. Keep relaxed, particularly around the shoulders. Try to maintain a very good breathing rhythm, but see how long it takes you to do the most of the rest of the run. Have a period at the end where you warm down, but pick 2 points, run between those points and see how long it takes. It's a very subtle measure. You don't need to do it every time, but over a course of weeks, you should see that if your fitness is improving, that time between 2 points drops, and that's still nose breathing. You aren't trying harder, you're maintaining nose breathing. If for some reason the time gets worse, then you have to look at the reasons. Are you heavier? Are you actually not as consistent as you'd planned to be? Or are you in the depths of winter and you're comparing to very good summer data? Run fitness is a very honest measure of your current fitness level. So nose breathing is a great way for you to get an honest assessment on a route you use regularly. Another run benchmark is using a sports field such as a football field to warm up, then to run loops. Each loop you're trying to gradually increase the pace such that the speed is going up. You start at nose breathing and you maintain nose breathing to a point where on a lap suddenly you have to gasp and you are now in zone 2. At that point, whatever the pace is per loop, and this loop doesn't have to be a precise distance, you just know that at a certain time per loop you have to breathe through your mouth and you've therefore gone into zone 2. That means that's your measure, and next time, perhaps 2-3 weeks later, you do the same test. If you can do a slightly faster lap before you have to start breathing through your mouth, you've then got a good measure that your ability to perhaps nose breathe better or run more efficiently or just be fitter all come together to give you greater speed before you hit zone 2.